That's the collector in the corner today. Starting to get cooler weather. It's getting harvest time. We managed to catch that mother squirrel of Debbie's. Got her pinned up when she quit destroying my corn and tomatoes and
She is just a
stuff like that.
good girl. She likes Indian corn.
And I grow this Indian corn. Some of it's purple and white, and some of it's red, and some of it's like this.
Uh-huh.
There's some more, and some of it's just all white.
Yucky.
Anyway, I don't like to pick it until it's on the stalk like this growing, until it falls down like that.
Oh, whatever you say, dear.
Well, that makes sure the seed's mature and it's getting hard and it won't be as likely to mold.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll shell that off and put it in a bucket with some diatomized earth to keep the bugs out of it, the weevils and stuff. And that tends to work. Save it for seed for next year. I got a lot more. Got some more to pick yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting about time to bale some hay for me. That is one of the very first bales we made last year.
Uh-huh.
And when I was baling it, I had to stop because somehow a piece of wire from the power company deal. There's power line down at the bottom, got down there, and I run it through that baler.
Well, it's good. It gives the sheep their minerals.
See?
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, it chopped it up.
Wow.
Pieces. There's another piece. Don't you remember when I was baling, all of a sudden I stopped and got off? Moving that wire around there. But it's
Wow.
just soft aluminum wire, got one piece of hard wire in the center, and it didn't really dull the knives inside there that cut it off. Didn't really dull them too bad.
Oh,
but
good.
that's a square bale made last year. In the fall, I don't know, October?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, we're gonna go over here and talk about a mowing machine now.
All righty. Mow. Something you need to do to the yard. Not right here. It's nothing here. Well, hi. I think you scared every sheep we own. Well, hi there. Hi, handsome. Hi. Well, hi, cutie. Hi, cutie. Hi. Hi, handsome. Hi, handsome.
Go up here.
Walk this way. Walk this way. Well, oh, not that way. He tripped over that rock. I'll pass that up. Walk this way. Walk this way. Walk this way. Wibble wobble, to and fro. That would be me. Am I supposed to leap the pipe
I don't know how that got
in a single bound? No, there ain't gonna be no leaping. Be more like step it over. I know what this is.
This is the International Harvester
Well, I didn't know that part.
mower. It's a drag behind, hooks on your drawbar. It's got a cylinder that lifts it up.
Uh-huh.
You got to keep looking back all the time when you use it, but it mowed good and everything.
If you would put mirrors on, you wouldn't
I
have
bought
to.
this at auction for $110,
Mm-hmm.
and this bearing was out.
Yeah.
So what I went and did, rather than put one of them regular bearings in there, I got a real heavy-duty roller bearing.
Uh-huh.
Sealed roller bearing.
Uh-huh.
A heavier one than put one of them little tin-looking ones that's on there.
Uh-huh.
And I had to put a wooden shim
Mm-hmm.
right there
Oh, I see
to
it.
keep that lined up with that belt, see?
Uh-huh. I see it.
But this thing mowed good. And, you know,
Yeah.
you start using a mower. I used this thing, I don't know how long I used it. I bought it 25 years ago. And see, I welded me a shoe on here
Uh-huh.
to raise that up a little bit. I've made that. That's one I made. And I had some pieces in here to flip that off to the side, some rods. And I hadn't used this since I bought that John Deere with that mid-mount mower where you look in front and the hydraulic lifted up. It's just a lot easier on man to use than this one right here. But I keep this one for a spare. That other one broke down. I was in the middle of haying. I could come get this one. And on the back here, that's actually the tail wheel off my bush hog. But I put it on here because it don't go flat.
You ought to make you some of them.
Well, I don't know if I could make them, but them made out of pieces of rubber, they don't go flat. They're real heavy duty. And I can just take these hose clamps off and put it back on my bush hog if I decide to use my bush hog. Okay, we're gonna go up here.
Okay.
Watch for the better weed, Debbie.
Oh, I know they're itchy. Why don't you get that mower going and come up here and... I just seen a bunny rabbit run faster than heck. Hey, looky, there's a gate. You know what, Randy? There's a gate you could put up.
That gate goes across this hole right here.
Why, it ain't worthy.
I want to keep this sheep out of there.
Needs to go in my driveway. That one you got key lapses and is a pain in the bottom. Guess maybe I should hook this to my head. See how we do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I hooked you to my head. Oh boy. Another one.
This is that mower I bought the other day for $35.
Wow.
See, it runs off a belt pulley right here, back here.
Wow.
You gotta get your pulley and put it on your PTO. And that goes up there. And this here adjusts your pitch of your teeth. Keep them down, up, middle, you know. You always want them pointing up just a little bit.
No, you don't. You want them down. You want to get them weeds all the way to the ground.
I think
This
is made for a C farm roll. And Chris has got that little Super C up there. And I could put that on that Super C.
He don't need
and let
to
him
be,
run it.
He don't need to be doing this. He'll chop everything down.
Well, yeah.
We'll have sheep out here with
he
no
could
legs.
come out here and mow these bitter weeds around and stuff like that. And practice.
Yeah, he could do that.
But anyway.
Okay, I'm following you.
So that's a $110 mower, and that's a $37.50 mower.
Alrighty.
And I've got that mid-back mower on that 301A John Deere.
How many mowers do you need?
Well, I'm getting to that. Then I got another John Deere mower over there that's a drag behind I used to use before I bought that International. And I pulled all the guards and teeth and stuff out of it and put on that 301A because it had come from the state and it was so dull it wouldn't cut nothing. It just mashed everything, just wad stuff up and it wouldn't cut. The teeth and guards and everything just wore out on it. The state highway, game and fish had it and that. So it wasn't any good. That outer shoe's in bad shape on that mower right there.
Well, we know what to do. Oh, cheap.
That's an old junk mowing machine.
Sorry about that. My allergies are kicking in.
I bought an International one time.
I don't think these bitter weeds,
Like $5 it was.
bitter weeds are helping.
They had a tree growing through it.
Oh my God,
Growed
is this
into
your
a tree.
collection?
And me and Debbie went over there, and that guy over there, he dulled his chainsaw chain, but we tied a truck to it, and we kept jerking around. We finally got it out.
Jeepers.
And I pulled a lot of the guards and stuff off and saved them because, see, if you look at this edge, see how nice that's still got that serrated edge on there?
Okay.
That means them still good and sharp.
Okay.
When the edge gets all beat down and smooth, like that right there.
Mother Nature's
That
trying
needs to be
kick
replaced.
my bottom.
Yeah, well, this here ain't no good. It's broke anyway. But there's a rivet that you can drill out,
Uh-huh.
and you can change this bottom plate. I've got a bunch of them brand new. Well, I saved them old Sickle guards. I had them in a bucket in the trunk of this car. I got them out this morning.
Okay.
And them teeth, when they got a good edge like that on them, they're still cut.
Oh, boy.
See, that's rusty, but it'll still work.
Here, let me see
A bunch of holders, different holders, hold downs. You got to get all that adjusted just right.
Uh-huh.
But that's just
Cool.
parts you ain't got to buy. Them's expensive to buy, but if you save them old parts, they ain't eating nothing, and you can use them. You see, that's in good shape yet. And there's different kinds. See how that's for end? Somebody's made that with a torch.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. I'll find the end. See, there's a factory one for end. See, it's only got half a deal. Goes in a different position on your cutter board.
Okay.
Okay, then I broke some over the years and they got thrown in the bucket.
God, throw away.
You know, you will.
Throw.
Our kind of fields. Okay, now we're going to talk about hay baler.
After I get through
I've got
sneezing.
this old baler over here.
Ouch. Well, shoot the dog. This is a hay baler.
We started out with a worn out, rusted out 269 New Holland. And I worked on that thing, and I finally did get that thing to baling, got it in time, and got it, everything tightened up on it. And it would bale, and it tied most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It tied the quine. We got where we use it. And me and Debbie was at the auction. There was just 273 there, and it was really nice in a building with a tarp on it. And I looked there, I told the man, that thing ain't hardly been used. You know, it ain't, don't show no wear anywhere. And we sat there and counted the money, and we decided that that day we could afford to pay up to $1,000 for that baler. And they come and sold that baler, and I bought it for $425. Well, the tires was low on it, and I'd backed up there and up the tires. The auction was over, and that guy come up there, and I'd done took that tarp off, and it rusted under that tarp. Looked terrible. And he said, "You won't believe this." He said, "Well, I bought that baler brand new." And he said, "See that big field down there?" He said, "I baled that field in square bales." And he said, "I couldn't get nobody to come haul them and put them in my barn." He said, "They was going to sit there and rot in the field." He said, "The 825 bales out there in that field." And he said, I went down and I bought a brand new round baler and cut the strings on all them square bales and baled them up in the round bales. And he said, I backed it up in here, and he said, that's all it's ever done. And we still got that 273, and we don't bale that many bale with it. And it'll last us a long time. Well, I was down at the junkyard, the salvage yard for scrap, and scrap was real cheap. I wasn't selling any. I just like to go down and look sometime. And this old baler was down there, and I mentioned something, I ought to buy that old baler off of you. And he said, well, I got $100 in it. You give me $100, you can have it. So I give old Ricky a $100 bill for it and brought it home. And I really ain't used many parts of it, but it's a New Holland. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Gotta look at the badge on it. I ought to remember that, but I don't. It's a 276. It's made a lot different than a 273, but a lot of the parts are the same. It's got the same knotters. It's got the same knotters, and I'm going to take the drawbar off of this because I'm going to use the clutch and the drawbar and the PTO on my 273. It's better. And there's a girl up here in Missouri, got a video, YouTube channel. It's called Anarchy Acres Farm. And she's got one baler like this. And she had this whole pulley here, this counterweight come off on her. And she kind of wanted me to do a video of this baler. And she needed this piece and this spacer and a bunch of this stuff right here. And I think I'll take that counterweight off and put it on my subsoiler. That's heavy enough to make that subsoiler going down the ground. And there's a little toolbox for it. And people have been having trouble with this baler because there's one of the parts to it. And that actually fits
Right there.
right there.
Wow.
There's one over there. And there's supposed to be a spring on there. And that spring ain't there either. Run over the top, hold that down. So every time it pushes that deal, that bale,
Yeah.
clip of hay don't want to come back. And what I'm fixing to do,
What are you fixing?
I'm going to take these knotters off here.
Uh-huh.
Because if you look, it's got 5 deals on your twine holder.
Uh-huh.
And them that got 5,
Yeah.
you can use plastic twine. That 65 baler I bought down yonder
Uh-huh.
won't work with plastic twine
Oh, dear.
because it's only got 3 in there, you know,
my.
instead of 5.
Oh, my.
But I can put these on there. But
Lions
these bill
and
hooks,
tigers and bears. Oh, my.
if I can get that to move where you can see it. Okay, you can see this gap right here. Look right there. See that right there?
Oh, still.
See that gap?
You're going to have to move.
See that big gap right there? I don't know if you can see it for the sun.
Gotta find your hand. Okay, I think I found your hand.
Anyway, that little roller is stuck. There's a roller there.
Ah,
See right there?
yeah.
It's stuck. But them would never work for plastic twine because the gap's too big. But you can grind down this tip and close that gap up smaller, and plastic twine will hold. And you got your little springs. This little spring right here that holds that deal, it goes on right there, and there's another piece behind it I done took off that holds that holds your tension on your bill hook, your twine hook. Anyway, that thing right there, you got to tighten it down a little tighter for plastic because that plastic is slicker and it takes more grip to hold it than it would to hold. Okay, this in here, if you look, this deal spins. See? That's one of the things you want to look for on a baler, that spins free. It ain't stuck. If it's stuck, it don't work good. But them bell hooks not very good. This baler's got some wear on it. But what I need to do is pull them off and pull all these chains and pulleys and stuff like that off. And the chains will work on them other balers, but the pulleys is different, sprockets is different. But stuff like that idler and that and there, you know, they'll fit them other old New Holland balers. Okay. So that makes me have 4 balers. I got that 65 and that 273 and that wore out 269 and this in here.
I ain't even got this much
This
makeup.
276. And there's another guy up there, Plainview Acres. He's got a good channel, young man, messing with older equipment, got a farm, and he was talking about buying hay versus baling your own. He was talking about expensive equipment and this and that. And yeah, buy new equipment is expensive. Buy old equipment and have somebody else work on it is expensive. Probably cheaper to buy your own hay. But if you can do like I do, if you're mechanically inclined, what you could do is buy a double outfit. See, I paid $110 for that mower down there, and I paid $425 for that 273 baler. So that's $535, and I give $375 for the M farm on. So that's $910, and then I paid $120 for the rake. So that's $1,030. Had $1,030 wouldn't be hay. But if you could do that twice, Then, if anything broke down, if your tractor broke down, you got extra tractor. If your baler broke down, you got an extra baler. If your mower broke down. But the hay rake, I had 2 hay rakes. I sold one of them for $250 because I just didn't like it. It was needing a whole bunch of teeth and stuff on it, and this guy wanted it. It was a bar rake. So, the reason I like baling my own hay,
Why, darling?
well, you got to find somebody that's going to sell you hay that's got the ability to load it on your trailer. Then you got to get with them when they're going to be there with the tractor to load it and blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know a thing about the quality of the hay you're getting. And I bought round bales of hay. And what it's did to me, I'll show you what it's done for me.
What has it done to you? Well, we bought some round bales of hay that had so much cow poop in it, the cows wouldn't even eat it.
I picked this morning.
Uh-huh.
I brought in these stickers in with that hay.
Mm-hmm.
And with this sticker, when it makes its fruit, it's a little yellowish colored, about the size of a marble.
Mm-hmm.
And them are poison to cows and stuff. And if your sheep eat that in the late stages of pregnancy, it could even cause them to abort.
Oh, jeepers.
But I brought that in. I pull these up every time I see them.
Uh-huh.
But I brought these in on the hay and got them started.
What about those
here.
other,
Okay.
your other array of, well, why are you throwing it on the ground? It might take root.
I pulled it up. It ain't got no seed on it. Now, this has got seed on it.
Mm-hmm.
This old weed here.
Yeah.
See, it's got that seed on it.
Don't drop them on the
Well, I
ground.
know. Sheep eat it.
Oh.
I peeled it up in the garden. The edge of the garden where the sheep couldn't get to it.
Okay.
There's another one.
Uh-huh.
I brought this in.
Mm-hmm.
That come in on the hay.
Boy, that one don't smell good.
But the thing about it is, I pulled that up in the garden where the sheep couldn't do it. See what the sheep do to that?
Mm-hmm. They eat
The sheep eat it. I don't know if it's good for them or not.
I don't know either.
And
I'm not even
I
sure.
believe this is the kind of weed that killed Abraham Lincoln's mother.
Snake root?
They say Abraham Lincoln's mother drank milk from a cow that had been grazing this weed.
Mm.
And it tainted the milk and killed her.
Yuck.
So that's the story anyway.
Yeah.
And you also get, if you ever plant on cultivating, you'll get this Johnson grass.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets that roots in the ground.
So,
Then on top of that,
okay, on top of that, what happened?
you don't know what kind of chemicals they'd been using there. You don't know
Chicken manure?
if they had been grazing animals on there that had diseases.
Mm-hmm.
That that hay rake might pick up a dry cow pie and bring it in, and there'd be some disease harboring, worm or something harboring inside that manure.
Mm-hmm.
And the very best reason I can think of for not buying hay
Uh-huh.
is it makes you self-reliant.
Mm-hmm.
A self-reliant person never has to depend on the time and pleasure of other people to get things done that he wants to get done.
I know.
And when you're buying and dealing with other people, you always got to do that.
Like my honeydew list, I'm still waiting on my honeydew list.
Anyway, so that's one of the main reasons. And I brought some hay in that had been sprayed, manure, from a donkey that ate hay that had been sprayed, and I put it on a garden spot and ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had some kind of herbicide in that manure, and that herbicide poisoned my garden spot.
Mm-hmm.
The one big advantage to buying hay is if you buy a ton of hay, you bought a ton of organic material. This is about the only thing I can think of. Okay, I wanted to show one little thing left. I got out here this morning and took this tar off this baler because I'm going to stick it on that other one.
Uh-huh.
I've got a rock under it.
Watch out. I think there's waspers around here, Dino.
Yeah, there's waspers here, and we're going to show them in a minute.
I don't want to see them.
Well, we're going to show them anyway.
I don't
Raise it
run.
up just a hair.
I don't run that fast no more.
I know. You don't swat too good either.
Do you know you might have to run if the waspers start coming out?
Well, I carried the raid in case I needed it.
Well, you got little legs. Well, we may have to run. Uh-oh, there's one right there.
What I used to jack this up with was this little mechanical. Yeah, I see that wasp. This little mechanical jack right here. Looks like a crank handle for a tractor, but it's for this jack.
Oh, wow.
I got 2 of them.
It's cool.
You ain't got no pesky, leaky hydraulic fluid or nothing with
Wow. And it's got,
that worked right
got
there
an M on it for Mom.
I'm going to take that other tire off too.
For Mama.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'd kill a snake or leave it be.
Uh-huh.
Rattlesnake, copperhead, stuff like that. I'd leave them alone, any kind of snake.
Ooh, but waspers are different. Sometimes they chase you.
If something bothers me, I'm going to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And them black snakes, I don't know how many I've killed this year, but the other night I went to lock them pigeons up after dark.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one in the pigeon house, and I killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I killed him and put him away. And I went in there the next day and looked, and there wasn't a single pigeon egg or a single small little pigeon in any of the nest. That snake had been going in there after dark every night and eating the little pigeons. And there's plenty of grasshoppers and mice and stuff for them to eat without them doing that. And you can relocate one 100 miles and they'll come back.
Okay.
And when the first people come to the Americas, there was plenty of stuff being pollinated and everything around the country. And there wasn't a honeybee here. Honeybees are not native to America. They came with the... So these people that tell you if all the bees die, the crops won't grow, they're full of it because this place was growing corn. Corn isn't native to Europe, it was native to the Americas. It was growing corn over here. Indians was growing corn without any honeybees. Okay, now them waspers, we can see them right there.
Yeah, I see them.
And if they would stung me and be bothering me, I'd take this raid to them. I'd get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll show you their nest.
Oh, Jesus.
See that?
They'll clear the nest out.
But I ain't gonna bother them and kill them. They're up here where they ain't bothering nobody.
But what
And they're not overly aggressive. They haven't attempted to sting me, so I'm just gonna leave you alone.
Okay.
it's coming for me.
Yeah, they're coming for me too now that you bothered them.
But we'll finish up and we'll talk about that snake again.
Let's go this way, Dino. Get away from the waspers.
Yep.
It's so far.
Grandma don't want to tick them off. They can probably read my vibes. And my vibes are waspers, yuck.
No, it's kind of empty in there.
Anyway, that old bee down there that I got. It was in a fence row, and I went dragging out of that fence row was come along, winching it up on that tilt top trailer of mine. Back tires was rotted. There's rat holes in them tires about that big around.
Uh-huh.
You know, squirrel holes, rat holes, whatever you want to call them. But it didn't look like there's any live rats around there. And when I went to boom that down on the trailer, put my chain on there, laying out there on the trailer, and crawled out of one of them rear tractor tires. The copperhead about 1.5 feet long. I've seen that little snake there, and he was lost and bewildered and didn't know what was going on. Somebody had moved his home. So I got me a stick, and I got him up on a long stick, and I carried him back up there, and I stuck him back up in that growed up fence row where he come from. There ain't no people was around there to get bit by him or anything. I figured I'd just let that snake go. But anyway, I can tolerate a lot of stuff. Hard to tolerate these grandkids sometimes. But we'll say goodbye and good luck to you. And I've stayed out of the way of Debbie's dealy boppers.
Yes, you have. Anyway, goodbye and good luck to y'all, and you have a great day.
Please like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe right now.
And